All right, welcome. Happy you guys can join me today on a regular just broadcast from the Night Falcon side. No TPL branding this time around,
I
so
want to see those move marks. I should see.
Trying out my new own personal overlay. Spent some time today, messed around with it, and so hopefully it will works out well today. But we'll take a look and see how that all goes. All right, so today we got a friendly going on here on Kharkov Night, nonetheless, between 11 ID and GOAT. Both of these guys playing in 35 matchups in TPL, different divisions, but 35s nonetheless. And frankly, I'm looking forward to this one. Should be a good old match. It looks like Distillery is going to be that midpoint for us today. So not sure if anybody has prepped any snipes or whatnot today, but we will go ahead and take a look and see what we have in store for this match today between 11 ID and GOAT. We'll be broadcasting from the 11 ID side. Got to make it up to these guys who I did them dirty this last weekend and wasn't there to go ahead and stream their TPL match, even though I was signed up for it. I had even set up the broadcast to be for the right time, but unfortunately, my mental clock and calendar put it 1 hour later than it actually was. And so when I get my stream all up and going, get warmed up, everything like that, I'm seeing all the GGs inside the match conversation. I'm like, nuts. So these boys at 11 ID, boys and girls at 11 ID need to help them out, as I've got a bad caster's curse when it comes to them. So doing this one, hopefully no problems today. Just all in it for a good time. All right, so it looks like initially here, 11 ID coming out of the top here, bringing medium off the right side, that Panzer IV, and bringing or sorry, not a Panzer IV, but the T-34 for the Russians, as 11 ID is the Russians. Matching up against a medium tank, a Panzer IV, off the right side for GOAT. So let's take a look and see what we got going here. Initial trucks starting to roll up into point here for the Axis forces. And the Allies having to contend with that big old Valley Gulch area. I don't even know if Gulch is a word. Just that big old area right there between windmills and Distillery. Lots of open fields as we see initial rockets coming in here for 11 ID. Who's riding it? Redbeard riding his glorious Iron Steed into battle. Both of his rockets are shot off, but not letting him be dismayed with his PPSH. Going in, trying to get a few more kills here as Cabo Phoenix bunkers down in the cold, wet snow here on Kharkov night. Redbeard making his way around here, looking to try to get that kill on Cabo. Oh, but unfortunately, Sergeant Kawa takes him out. Initial cap progress coming in here for 11 ID. As they are starting to put more and more pressure here on the point. As of right now, they definitely have the bodies to hold this push for a minute. So it looks like this Panzer IV is going to bolt on in here for 11 or for GOAT. See what they can do to try to help clear out hard cap, as that's now infested with 11 ID men. One little cherry back here. Samoza trying to do everything he can to keep his OP up, as he is the only Axis OP up in the area. Ooh, and we are getting smoke artillery coming in. Bear Destroyer, no doubt, feeling very lucky that that was smoke artillery and not real artillery, as he is pretty much 2 shells in a row landed right on top of him. So Panzer IV hammering the point here on hard cap. That one was not smoke, unfortunately, as it takes out a couple 11 ID players on the southern side. Or the western side. The close side. The near side. More and more Axis already coming in. Trying to clear him out on point. All right, Cap going 3/4 of the way here for 11 ID as a GOAT truck tries to make its way on the far outside here. Looks like it was eliminated though. driver tried to kamikaze it on into the point, but unfortunately for him, it did not make it. All right, and I get the luxury today of being in a officer role here, so I get to see the command pings now as 11 ID has gone up 1. Bing. All right, overlay works great. 11 ID with the initial lead, 3-2 here, Kharkov night between 11 ID and GOAT. All right, so 35's match they often tend to be a little bit more exciting than the 49 matches, I'll give you that. So in this case, 35's not as many guys, but what we would be interested to see is, so for both teams, let's go ahead and take a look at the strats here real fast and what they're going to be wanting to look to do. So 11 ID, now they own the point. Of course, that's number 1 on the importance list. But they're also going to want to control the movement into the point by controlling this western side around St. Mary. So if they're able to get over here, and they do have L squad here, but if they can look to establish a garrison up around the church somewhere in that area, it can serve to act as a radar to check for any GOAT pushes that they have going down into that point. Retrospectively here, if you're the GOAT side, you want to make sure you're pushing guys up this side, and what this garrison's going to help out a lot with that. And so they've got some really good garrison placements here to help funnel in those kind of 3 lanes of attack and make sure that they can try to get in. Because ultimately, if you're going to try to get this point, you're going to want to try to, you got kind of a lot of open stuff here that you have to work with. So for GOAT, what you're going to want to look to try to do is get up here, own this section here. That's going to force maybe some more 11 ID guys to come over and react with you that could open up that front door a little bit for them. So let's go ahead. We'll see how this continues to progress here. Let's pop our stream distance up. I got my player profile on right now. Play. We want to see where everybody are. So changing the settings so we can see all the names up to 500 meters real fast. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Whew, there they all are here as Walleye braving the elements here, stuck in his little shed up here, trying to get an angle on these bad German invaders. Trying to seize his land here. Bodies of his fallen comrades strewn all around him, but Walleye unaware that 2 men from the German side are right behind him. MG Mike, though, looking to close that up here as Gallo and Hizoka, sorry, are moving around, but Walleye still unaware as they're running. Gallo is running right by him. Get him, Walleye, get him! Oh, Hizoka able to take out Walleye as Gallo's able to meander back towards friendly lines. But unfortunately, I'm not sure. Where in the world did you get shot from, boy? I don't think it was Dementia. It must have been Johnson who was kind of facing that direction. All right, let's go ahead and look and see how the battles over these trenches are going here as First Lieutenant Fauci and his comrades here, RW Cash, Captain Jugs, looking to hold off the GOAT push. Captain Jugs unloading with the with that PPSH. I give credit to anybody that can hit anything with that gun from more than 10 meters away. It seems like whenever I use it, it's shooting peas and does nothing to anybody. So, go Jugs! Leap of faith, flying through the air, taken out. Uh-oh. Who's this guy? My friend. Oh, Caster's Curse got you, my friend. Dark Fiend looks like he's been helping out with some of the MG work here on the GOAT side. Looking to come in as a pitch hitter, it looks like, for them today. So that would be a good little test for 11 ID to try to battle off Mr. Darkfiend. Mr. Darkfiend has a good amount of skill behind that machine gun. Achilles taking a good overlook here off that bunker side, but Food gone wild. Mountain is MG. Laying some hate down on Cabo Chura and Pando here. All right, so just about 10 minutes in since wall drop. And right now, 11ID still owning pretty much that entire eastern side of the soft cap sector, trying to get a foothold into the houses that will allow them to push down into Lumberyard. So as far as points go, looks like Distillery and then Offset for Lumber. So Goat's going to have a little bit of a climb if they're able to get Distillery back here. But for 11ID, they've got direct path here to Lumberyard. So for Lumberyard, they're really going to be able to just continue using those 3 lanes of coverage down and just keep pushing. Sergeant Vlad, Captain McReady. McReady takes out Vlad and Mike. Power of the Gavir helping him out. That's another gun that recently I feel like I've been shooting blanks with. Well, let's just say things on the Falcon front haven't been going as well as they could be. When it comes to games and kill numbers. Surprisingly enough. Oh, McReady's OP gets taken out. Major Dementia. Hopefully doesn't have Dementia after seeing that OP get deleted here. But Major Dementia trying to peek around, see where in the world the bad guys are, is Captain McReady hiding behind his box, trying to get that waiting. He's going to have a long time to wait to get that OP back up. Major Dementia, realizing he doesn't have Dementia, comes around the backside here. Oh, does he see him? Dementia, do you see him? Oh no, McReady. Oh, McReady is able to get up with the Gavir again and take him out. MG Mike moving on. All right, MG Mike ends McReady. McCready. And Vlad able to also get revenge on them. So MG Mike and Vlad moving on up. Said, you got me once, you're not gonna get me again. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. We got one small little outlet here of Go players that are looking to hold up in this house here as it just keeps getting bombarded. By this Russian light tank. Samoza, the only man alive still there, is Pando trying to hold out in his little hut up there. Sergeant 1 Danny, middle of open ground here. RW Cash trying to hit him with that PPSH, as I told you. It looks like he got a shot on him, but Danny unfortunately was able to use the might of that STG and eliminate him as that light tank for the Soviets takes a hit from the front. Aguila misses the second shot. Andio smoking him out though. His party fire appears to be coming in to try to help him out. Both decide we've had enough blows for the day. We're gonna go our own separate ways here. Sergeant Johnson taking out Andios. Reloading and bandaging up. All set to go. Completed his repairs and is looking to set back out here. Oh, but unfortunately Sergeant Johnson cut down in his prime. All right, so looking at how the front lines are kind of moving, so Goat really getting a good push here up the middle. But as far as anything goes here on the outside, hopefully their Panther 4 might be able to help them out a little bit here as they try to get up and salvage their push up into this sector here. But as of right now, the only thing Goat really has going for him is this push along this middle road here in the G column. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that as Vlad and Mike still try to fight and keep him out of that area. Must have an OP right behind him. Yep, they got an OP right behind him, which is the reason why Samoza and Chura and Danny are able to go ahead and spawn back in. But Vlad and Mike doing a good job holding their ground here, trying to wait for more and more of their friendly blueberries to push on up and help them out. Danny, though, sensing that something might be wrong in it, that there is a disturbance in the force, decides to turn back around. Never mind, I was trying to give him a good old theatrical intro there to trying to fight Vlad and Mike, but Danny trying to get shots on Johnson, but Johnson says none of that. Serve you up a nice side of lead here. All right, sounds like we may have lost a tank here. Let's see. Right below us, maybe? Nope. Yep. Might have been. Nope. I don't know. I just work here. All right, so starting to get commander tank pings here from Benjamin. Looks like Tiger tank here for the Axis forces here, captained by Sergeant Leon. Trying to mop up some of these 11 ID guys that are just trying to push in, but he gets a hit from the backside by this light tank, punching up above his weight class here. Looking to try to do what he can. Keep on moving, shooter. Corporal Das also doing what they can as well. Oh, but here's the Panzer IV eyeing him up, taking him out. Unfortunately for him, it was a double stack situation, and the Axis said, get out of here, you little gnat. Sergeant Leon getting out and trying to rep his tank here. I do not see any repair stations up on the field at the moment for either squad. So it's going to be big for them to try to keep their tanks up and alive here. Sergeant Leon was eliminated probably by, let's see, you got Zin and Priz back there just firing in with their rocket, or their rifles. So I'm guessing one of them probably got it, so that's a heck of a shot. Let me just turn my sensitivity down a little bit here. I'm not whipping things around as quickly. There we go. All right. So Axis Tiger tank slowly being repaired in the background here as Agarius meeting up against Fog Gone Wild. Agarius taking shots, but Fu Gone Wild able to get the final say on that one. 11ID definitely getting a little bit of help here, it seems like, from some really 50-50 gun battles that they're just getting lucky and coming out on the right side of. Cabo Spartan, next man up, moving on up. Let's see if he'll be able to take out Fu Gone Wild. Or is this really a time where Mr. Fu is going to go wild? Can he go on a 2-kill streak as they're running by each other? Switching to X-ray vision here. Spartan getting shots on Fu Gone Wild, taking him out, but Spartan eliminated in turn by Priz. Coming off the garrison, saw that his friend was in trouble. Achilles back here with his sniper rifle. Most likely given some problems here as Goat tries to push through hard on this right side now. We can see there from a numbers perspective, we kind of get a look over here. They're kind of evenly split now between the two. The two lanes of attack here. But all the way on the east side, 11ID just pushing more and more people in here. Owning pretty much all of this whole left side. See, we've got a garrison already down here. Looks like Axis or an allied airhead might have landed in the back. I missed that. Let's go take a look and see if we're going to see any spawns come off of it. Because as of right now, nobody seems from Goat to want to turn around and try to check that out. So let's take a look. Airhead spawn here. Could end up being a real bad day here if 11ID is able to get some spawns off, and they do. So Bangtown Express, Dapper Cat, we got some of the big shooters here from 11ID coming in off this airhead. Let's see what kind of damage they've got going and cooking up here as a flare tries to come in, diagnose what's going on here on the back line here for Goat. Yep, Soapman also helping out with a little bit of flare. So we got full flare coverage from both teams over here on this eastern side of the map. Chara and Bangtown Express is in, all running by each other, nobody knowing that the other is there. Looks like they are just like two ships passing in the night. Soapman must have seen Chara. Chara, though, getting an eye on, thinking he gets an eye on whatever he can, but nothing in there. Soapman, though, peeking around here. Can Soapman get him? Going for the reload, but Bangtown able to hit him from behind. Good old 1-2 punch there. Nico and Zin going off. Zin taking out Nico. Moving on up as he looks to have eliminated, yeah, it looks like he may have eliminated that Goat garrison here on the backside. Also taking out the supplies, so good job, Zin. Able to get behind the men here. Rogue and Zin line it up to face off here. Zin seeing him go in. Rogue not knowing he's there, though, and Zin's able to go ahead and get him. So good job, Zin. Well done getting him out. All right, so as of right now, that leaves this whole back section of the the point open and available here for 11 ID to continue to spawn on. It looks like Goat is starting to react, though, coming off the garrison in the last sectors. Airhead has been eliminated. And garrison put back up here for Goat. So Goat able to go ahead and get back behind their line and hold off that little push coming in through. But still, a potential to lose a lot of ground here. So we see here a bombing run coming in. Looks like it's it looks like a Goat combination airhead bombing run combo. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what kind of damage this does. It looks like nobody from 11 ID is back to receive that airhead. So let's take a look and see what we are going to be working with here. Oh, nope, looks like airhead has been eliminated. All right, so damage was short-lived as 11 ID slowly starts to get cap pressure in here on Lumberyard. Now that they own this entire east side pretty much, if they can get this garrison, which they have, okay, never mind, it was a tank and the tank is gone. So 11 ID owning that whole right side of the map. So man, directing traffic here as the IS-1 moves on up. Munchy Squirrel and Corporal Doss under the direction of Shooter here. Commander Soapman, or Commander Benjamin calling in some arty smoke here, trying to shield the advance of his men. As we see a Katyushka strike is coming in here for the Axis, for the Allies. Goodness sakes. Yeah, I know this game. I know this game called Hell Loose. I've played it before. I promise this is not my first day, even though it appears that I'm messing everything up as Sergeant Rogue just trying to avoid getting exploded here. Only man here in the hard cap for Goat. Cap progress ticking back in favor here as Rogue and Sergeant Johnson going off on it here. Johnson, turn around the corner. Johnson able to get around and get Rogue as that first shell lands again. I think Sergeant Johnson's just the directing force for all smoke rounds here onto the point. Seems like wherever he goes, they follow. And it looks like an Axis tank eliminated here by that friendly IS-1 here from the left side. So nearing about 75% of the way capped, 3/4 capped here for 11 ID. 11 ID put on a good show here for Goat as Goat has a massive spawn wave off of this garrison here on the western side. But Goat's going to have to do a lot of work to be able to get back up into it as a rocket narrowly misses their garrison. Corporal Jugs was very close to getting that out. And with that, we are going to have 11 ID go up 4-1 on Goat here with 1 hour and 5 minutes remaining. All right, so up to this point, 11 ID came in and pretty much took initial cap. It went a little bit in the favor of Goat here for a minute, but it was pretty decisively won by 11 ID, and since that point 11 ID has slowly just pushed Goat back farther and farther as they continue to gain ground here. Agorist and Soapman most likely hearing some steps behind him, but it looks like focused on the guys in front of him. Agorist also not hearing the shots though behind him. Oh, looks like he did hear him as he gets shots on Soapman, eliminating him from the competition. Agorist now the only man inside of the lumberyard area. Staring down an IS-1 here. Fortunately, as the automatic rifleman class will not have much that he'll be able to do for it. So the real problem here for Goat is that 5ID already has a very strong presence here right in the front of base storage. Go ahead and take a look and see how that little push is going, because 11ID was able to go ahead and get all of their guys down this center lane. Goat ended up kind of giving that up a little bit here. And in so doing has allowed 11ID to establish a garrison pretty much on front door. Now 11ID does have to contend a little bit with a big open field, but with the help of the houses and stuff that they have along the main road, they have just as much of an access point to this point, really, as the Axis forces of Goat have down here on Hastetorch. Commander Osloth, though, doing everything he can to try to get garrisons up for his men. As it appears, shots coming in on him forced him to crash that truck and try to get everybody back in line. Try to salvage what little he can here from the situation. So this is going to continue to force Goat bodies back as we see supplies coming in for the Axis side. Right on the middle ground. Right on the division line. Neither squad is there, so it is a jump ball to try to get up to these supplies as they look to be making their way to this the western side, rolling down the hill, but settling eventually now. Dappercat, closest man to it, preventing all of the Goat players from getting up into it. But Commander Osloth making a heroic push here to try to get to these supplies. Will Dappercat take him out? Osloth getting some shots at him from Dappercat. Dappercat missing. Unaware if Dapper knows that Osloth's there. He might not see him behind that fence there. So Osloth might have the advantage. Dappercat may have just been taking shots at people from the hardcap sector, but Dapper finally looks like he was able to take out Commander Osloth there. Sergeant Johnson moving on up, trying to get this garrison established for his guys. Never mind, won't be able to get that garrison established, but he can take out the supplies from Goat. Zooming on out here, let's take a look and see how the Axis tanks are faring here. It looks like one of them not so well, as they appear to be very, very damaged. Looks like we have some additional support here from the Goat players coming from out of this Puma here so that they stay alive. Redbeard, though, cresting over the top. Looking to find and spot some booty here on this Tiger tank from the front. If he can get a rocket on him, he can't do damage to the tank, but he can do damage to the people trying to repair it here. Jugs perking on up over the top as well. Jugs stands the better way here as... Oh, nuts. Redbeard taken out by the Puma, standing guard over the Tiger tank. But Jugs coming around from the back here. Will he be able to get himself in a position to fire on this Tiger tank? Looks like he will. Oh, but it does not penetrate. Too steep of an angle, unfortunately. He still has one rocket. Could do a little bit of damage here. Takes out the Puma. Well played, Captain Jugs. Well played, sir. Knowing that he could take out the Puma with the one shot. Couldn't do much to the Tiger, and by the time anybody got back to the Tiger, probably would have been repaired. But he took out the other problem child there of the Puma. So good play by Captain Jugs here to go ahead and prioritize the target there. Now, which one would be able to give him the most bang for his buck, so to say. All right. So some good arty landing in here, just pinning Goat down from coming up to this eastern side here as the IS-1 slowly rolls on back. Aguirres, though, trying to get back here, get some damage on this IS-1 as this Tiger tank and this IS-1 no doubt are going to start trying to peek at each other. We can see just through the backside there of that building, that little red mark that we have. That is currently where the Tiger tank is. We can see it kind of with our highlighted X-ray vision. So it looks like neither side really calling out yet. They just don't have an updated... Okay, 11ID does have a decent ping on that Tiger tank. Looking to try and probably get some fire here from the 11ID guys. It looks like he's trying to go ahead and help out his 11ID guys on the eastern side here as they try to continue to push up that road and stop that Goat offensive coming down. But it looks like Tiger tank has taken one hit. Is it contending with another tank? Looks like we do have another IS-1 coming up from the backside, so that IS-1 might be the one that's giving us some hassle. And it looks like both of them are trading blows at the moment. Oh, Tiger tank going down. Oh, but unfortunately IS-1 also going down. Oh, but hey, you know, 1 for 1. We're not going to call it too bad there. Unfortunately, though, stinks to get mopped up by infantry when you get the heavy tank battle and you win it. Achilles looking to try to stem this tide. There's a red cherry tide coming in from the western side as Andios, Kawa, and Spartan, Agula, pushing on in here. 4 against 1. Can Achilles do it? General Lee popping a flare to help his buddy out here. It's like one's gone. Achilles may have gotten him. Andios peeking around though. Achilles not standing still long enough for one of them to get a shot on him though. They are starting to get different distances as a good grenade comes in from Andios, and that looks like that might do it for Achilles. Oh, but he is saved. Saved by the woodshed. Cabo Spartan now moving in. Andios also moving in. Achilles in a dire situation here. Can Achilles preserve the win? Achilles getting shots, but no. Spartan able to erase him there. Well fought, though, by Achilles. Commander Benjamin and General Lee look to try to get back and help him out. Avenge their fallen comrade. So for those that are interested, I also have a buddy here on the other side, casting on the GOAT side, Mr. WhippyOhio. He's not doing quite live yet. But he will post his stream once they get to the point of once it goes what's the word I'm looking? Once the match is over. So he'll post it. I'll put it on here so you guys can see however he does it as well. Just like me, if anybody can give him a like, a subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. He is trying to get into the streaming world. Just recently became a TPL caster as well. So there's a high probability you'll be able to see him casting some matches here in the coming weeks, especially as we move towards playoffs. So we want to make sure we get as many of those matches cast as possible. All right, so it's been a while since we've looked at the Falcon cam here. Let's take a peek here, see how things are continuing to develop. So 11ID doing it very well here. Lots of garrisons up. They are working to try to own this side, but it looks like they've been wiped from this sector. As J Squad currently is the only group there with an OP or anything there. We still have a little bit of fighting going on over here on the eastern side, but for the most part, looks like GOAT's starting to move back up and get pushes into there. So as of right now, 11ID looks like they're kind of on their back foot a little bit in trying to reestablish some of the ground that they've looked to try to get. Now for the GOAT side, looking at how they've set things up, so garrison right here and garrison right here, but then the farthest garrison out here on hay storage. So something that 11ID might look to do is try to get really wide and use this little creek bed here to try to get up into the point. As of that, that's really all the coverage that you have on this western side. Western side of the map. Because even if you come down here, you're going to have to contend with a lot of open fields right in there. So, all things considered, overall not too bad. It's what we like to see here. A nice competitive matchup between these two. 11ID still owning the front pretty well. Falling back just a little bit due to some of the pressure that GOAT's putting on. But let's take a look and see how that continues to develop. Now it looks like our IS-1's getting really adventurous here. Trying to help Sergeant Johnson and Walleye moving up this middle road here. So Sergeant Johnson getting pretty close to this garrison for the Axis side. Is hidden down and kind of in a different spot than what you would normally get. So that might help GOAT as they look to try to preserve that garrison here. But as of right now, nobody's currently spawning off of it to try to push up that middle line, which could leave Sergeant Johnson and Walleye with a prime look at trying to get that and eliminate it. All right. 11ID appears to have been able to establish a garrison here with the help of Commander Soapman. Spotter Soapman. Previous cast that I've done, I've been able to call out Commander Soapman, but getting a nice little reprieve here from the trials and tribulations that are being command. Sometimes you just like to sit back, run and gun. Totally understand that one. Right now, though, Goat pushing up this middle section here as more and more Goat players are starting to fall on the backside. Keely's moving on up. Keely's putting pressure here on Kawa. Oh, but Kawa has the sight. I don't know if Keely's knows he's there. Andios and Aguila also coming up, trying the backside. Trying to support here on their guy as they look to try to push back in and gain this lumberyard point. We're going to stick it right here, though, as Spartan and Achilles are on a collision course here. Achilles getting shots on Kawa. Spartan hearing it. Will he be able to take out and avenge his buddy? He charges Achilles. Achilles just ducking for cover here. Achilles with the scoped SVT here. He does have the advantage of it being scoped, but also not being too tight. But then Artie gets coming in and third parties him. So sorry, Achilles. 2 times in a row, man. We'll chalk that one up to another caster curse death. Who would have thought that artillery would have come out of nowhere just smashing him? Alright, so 11ID getting things back under control as the farthest incursion here for Goat currently is led by Andios and Kawa here in their respective squads. T-34 moving on up here for the Allies. Rocket coming in, hits the fence, unfortunately for him. Commander Tiger, Mr. Sasinug, and Raven doing what they can to stem this tide here. Shots going out. Let's go ahead and take the highlights off. We don't need those right now. But Akoza able to hit the second shot on the side. Looks like might have just gotten tracks, though. So it looks like hull damage still, hull integrity still at 100% here for, of course, Mr. Sasinug, Tiger, and Raven. Alright, supplies dropping for the Axis forces here. Going to be easily received here from 11ID, unless he did not see that come in. Now this is a tricky little place right here. You can put a garrison right there, in case you're interested. Often protects it with a little bit of a... You have to get the placement just right on it. It can be a little fidgety, but it is possible. Alright, looks like our IS-1, though, here on the backside was finally the victim here of some action here on the backside. It's like AT gun placed up by Goat, eliminated out, but no quicker had they eliminated the IS-1. That is also eliminated here. Sergeant Vlad trying to do what he can to... Whoa! Where'd that come from? Tiger tank here, up on the top. Nope. Nope, Panzer IV. But following it up here is Sergeant Leone trying to overlook this area here, preventing 11ID from pushing down into that. All right, let's take a look and see how we're doing. So Goat making some really good progress here, pushing on up into this garrison. Let's go ahead and see if they're going to be able to get this out, as Dappercat appears to be the lone blueberry in a sea of red right now. Dappercat just trying to do what he can to keep that garrison up. Cabo Phoenix eliminated his Redbeard Soapman Silo, able to come in. Dappercat moving on him. Michi getting shots on him, though. Michi moving around. Let's go X-ray vision so we can see where Michi is. Dappercat not wanting to let Michi get away. Dappercat making and braving the entrance. Oh, unfortunately is taken out by Michi. Most likely the victim of a scope situation there where he just did not see him quick enough. Soapman says, "Don't you do that to my Dappercat. I'm coming after you, Michi." Michi just still hiding in the corner. Soapman running in through. Oh, gets the good push here on Michi. Sergeant Nico, though, taken out. Garrison still up here for 11ID as the T-34 is taken out here by the Tiger tank that's pushed on up. But Dappercat, Soapman, and crew able to go ahead and keep that garrison up. So well done by 11ID forces to try to keep that garrison in play so they don't have to retreat or get that put back up. I'm gonna share this out here real fast. The links out to the respective groups. That is not the link. Alright. So Redbeard and RW Cash trying to push on up, get this Tiger out of play. This Tiger's already caused a good amount of damage here for Goat. 11 ID no doubt wants to see it get rid of. See it gone. Let's see here fast. All right. So Goat slowly making progress again back up this middle as they try to work towards this garrison. Looks like they finally have been able to take it out. So Cabo Hunter, Cabo Phoenix looked like they were able to go ahead and get on up and eliminate those guys. Cabo Spartan, though, the lone little cherry here in a great sea of blueberries. How many times am I going to use that analogy tonight? Must be the rolling white plains and fields of Kharkov tonight, causing me to think about the seas of blueberries and cherries. Big spawn wave though for Goat here off the back side, as it looks like 11 ID has been able to move on up and clear the garrison, holding down this left side, that left row of houses here leading in a lumberyard. So Sergeant Johnson seems to be everywhere tonight, as it appears every single section we go into, Sergeant Johnson appears to be fighting in. Making his presence known as he is just everywhere on the battles. Pando pulls a quick teleport move. Looks like Pando most likely got DC'd from that DC'd there as he suddenly disappears from our screen here. The Phantom. Sergeant Johnson shooting at him. Not taking him out though. Game did that one just for him. Sergeant Johnson though, moving on up. Sees the garrison. Is he gonna get spawned on top of? Are people spawn locked in? We will find out. Negative. Sergeant Johnson able to take garrison out by Goat. So that's gonna really put Goat into a difficult situation now, as they have taken out all the garrisons here on the eastern side, leaving them with only one garrison here in hay storage that's in the blue. This garrison in the red is going to not go very far here, as First Lieutenant Fauci appears to be right on top of it. First Lieutenant Fauci taking it out here. Danny and Fauci going at it. Fauci gets him with the shovel! Double kill for Fauci here on the Falcon camera tonight. Good work, Mr. Fauci. Go back to 2020 and make a joke about here's your immunization. Hits him with the shovel. All right, 11 ID able to now devote a lot of bodies here to those western side now. Let's go ahead and see if Goat will be able to hold this up, or if 11 ID will be able to take these houses here. This is really the key battle going on right now, as Goat's just struggling to get bodies back up into the various sectors. All right, so let's take a look at the Falcon camera here from overhead and just see what can Goat really do here in this situation. They're kind of got themselves in a jam, so let's see if we can talk through a little bit of what they might be able to do here and try to get out. So right now, looks like we've got an airhead drop down here. Looks like an allied airhead for 11 ID, so they're really going to look to try to get down in here. So be interesting to see if they can get down here. So Goat really needs to prioritize getting people off of this HQ and reestablishing up here. Now this sector right in this middle area, this is a valley. So high ground. So that's going to be really kind of difficult. It doesn't look like it is, but it is rather difficult to get up there and try to get things put back into place. Because you're kind of getting shot from above and down below and everything here. So moving on up here, let's talk a little bit about, so here's what I'm talking about. So high ground on both sides. So Goat really needs to have these guys sink in and hold this sector until they can get some guys off of OPs in order to try to drop garrisons here. Sergeant Somoza, unknowingly though, is going to be moving on in here to an allied Katushka strike coming in. Go ahead and watch one of the most cinematic angles here of Hell Let Loose. Watching these rockets come on in. I don't know if anybody else feels like they're ever in the Matrix here when they got this thing going on, but it feels like you could look them dodge them as they come in. But it looks like for the time being, Somoza's gonna be able to hold up and be all right because those rockets coming in from the west side, if they were to hit him, would hit that house. So with that, garrison eliminated here from 11. So 11 ID had a garrison here, but it's now gone. So that's not anything there to worry about now. So 11 ID gonna be looking to try to get that in, but it looks like this battle that we were talking about here over these middle roads, that was kind of the key battle for this area, or key battle of this time of the match is kind of going in favor of Goat here, as 11 ID is forced to go off of back OPs, JL and J squads. J squad being the only one with an OP there up here. RW Cash though. Redbeard from downtown. Good on you, mate, for getting that shot. Cash coming up on Cowboy Hunter and Phoenix. Who's gonna blink first? RW Cash takes out Phoenix. Hunter. Oh, looks like he's a little trigger shy here at the moment. Hunter getting shots, but Cash able to go ahead and eliminate him. Cash taking out with a double kill here. Good work, Cash, to clear up that middle ground here for 11 ID to try to get down here into the area. J Squad's OP. Funny that. Both J Squads from both teams are pretty much right on top of each other here OP-wise. But we see Cap Progress coming in for Goat on Lumberyard. It's like we have an airhead coming in. Supported by a bombing run. Looks like it might, it looks like it must have been a misclick here from Commander Oceloth, because that, I'm not sure, aside from maybe taking a garrison out on Distillery, I'm not sure why that's there, but unfortunately for him, that airhead is very exposed. Sergeant Johnson looks to get to the angle. Kawa, though, able to go ahead and help defend it, but Grenade gets the airhead. Too bad. Had it been 5 meters to the east, would have been nicely hidden behind that house. 11 ID responding nicely here, eliminating any cap pressure that Goat had been able to put onto the point. Fugon Wild and Zin taking out Andios. Wanjo, backside, shooting at Zin. Unfortunately, looks like used a whole clip, missed Zin. Fugon Wild, though, next victim, unfortunately. Zin playing peekaboo here with Wanjo. Able to turn around and get Wanjo. A little revenge for taking out his buddy here. We have a good little nice game of peekaboo going on there, as Goat continues to flood bodies into this eastern side of the point. So Goat definitely able to get a heck of a lot of presence here on this eastern side, allowing them to get this push. Now, it will be interesting if they are able to go ahead and get this, because the push is really coming from one angle. They got to get more bodies off of this garrison here in G9 to really push into that point and solidify it. As of right now, it looks like they'll be able to, as long as they get the spawns here, Tiger tank getting pinged a lot here as Danny and Gatto try to heal it up here real fast. But the T-34, oh, that Tiger's needed. Oh, that Tiger's got to turn because it's got its butt facing down towards this T-34 here. But the T-34, unfortunately, is not able to get a shot to connect with him here. One shot, though, on the back side of this Tiger, though, I think from that T-34 will take him out. Must be engined. I'm not hearing an engine on right now. So that's got to be the only reason why his backside is currently pointed towards that T-34. T-34 moving on it up, though, trying to get an angle where he can get this shot on this engined Tiger tank here. Sorry, Danny, just trying to do what he can, but unfortunately, he's only going to be able to, so with the changes they made to the armor repairs, he's really much only able to repair the turret, or sorry, the hull from that position. So had he been able to get to the backside, repair the engine of that Tiger, it might have been able to get some type of turn in or something to try to push off that T-34. But just like that, unfortunately, that Tiger tank no more, as that T-34 able to get him out. Now we got the Panzer IV and the T-34 going at each other here. That T-34, though, just, narrowly missing another shot here. As unfortunately, it looks like Panzer IV from GOAT here might have been eliminated, but also counting his lucky stars, that precision strike from the Allies missed. So a little unfortunate luck here for this Panzer IV on the backside for GOAT, as they look to get out and heal up here. Now, let's see how aggressive this T-34 is going to be, though. They know they've got one into the Panzer IV. As it looks like Commander Mendez, Tank Commander Mendez and his crew are coming out back in another Tiger tank. All right, so 11ID still responding well. Most of the pressure, it looks like, has been taken off of the point. 11ID has pushed them back relatively well. So looks like we've got a massive wave coming over in the area of Dark Fiend right here in Kawa and Kawa and Gallo. Sergeant Johnson. Feels like there's 10 of them with the amount of times we see Sergeant Johnson here. Dark Fiend just trying to perch up here. Let's go ahead and take a peek in the angle here and see what Dark Fiend's going to be able to do. Looks like for the time being, Dark Fiend is going to be left alone in his little attic here. Fauci, though, trying to find an angle to get some shots on the guys here on the backside as Bangtown and Achilles are just pushing on in. Fauci taking out Hazoka. Dark Fiend still patiently holding his angle here at the very top, making sure nobody comes up the backside here as Fauci continues to run around. Dark Fiend, no doubt, thinking, how long does he have before he gets rushed by these Russian soldiers that just continue to flood into this house? Achilles not aware that Dark Fiend is above him. Dark Fiend not making any noises here. Continuing to hold his line here. But here on the caster side, hoping this candle gets lit here. So we see some action here. But Dark Fiend showing his patience. I wonder if Dark Fiend does any fishing. It seems like he has got the patience for it. I for sure don't. Agua taking out Zin. Healy's taking out Agua. Dark Fiend still positioned in his little attic here, trying to hold off. Cap pressure coming back in for GOAT, though, as 11ID did shift a couple bodies to the western side. And that T-34, or nope, not T-34. We do have an IS-1 that came up and finally took out that Panzer IV here. So now the Panzer IV is gone. Cap progress taking back in favor of 11 ID. Johnson, Fuga on Wild. Up against Andios. Andios getting the first shots. Takes out Johnson. Let's see how Fuga on Wild feels about that as Fuga on Wild takes cover behind the wall, but Andios able to go ahead and get him as well. Andios with the double kill there. Dark Fiend's still in his little attic there. Let's see, has he moved into a shooting spot? He has. So Priz, most likely hearing what's going on above him. Might have just been a play, though, by Dark Fiend to try to get some bodies to come up and get him, though. That MG42, I tell you, is not a target you want to have left up there. So play by Dark Fiend to go ahead and take some pop shots here. Try to get some guys to come his way. Might have been in order there. But it looks like nobody has taken that bait. Redbeard on the AT gun, though, owning this road, making sure no tanks come on down that way. Looks like Goat, with the help of Captain McReady, Cabo Spartan, and Sergeant Danny, in the middle hard cap here, trying to help the Goat advance here as Fauci takes out Spartan. Fauci able to take out McReady, leaving Danny all alone to try to fend this off here as Fauci and General Lee. General Lee also gone. So now we have Fauci and Danny. The battle of the century. The battle over the lumber yard here. Who will win it? Neither one of them wanting to take an advance here. Fauci's still poking around corners here. Trying to weed out the little cherry inside of his point here. Fauci not giving up. Good on Fauci not giving up there. Still knows there's a guy there, but Danny not getting too eager. Holding his ground. Alright, T-34 misses the shot on the Tiger tank. Or the IS-1, sorry, misses the shot on the Tiger tank. Oh, and it ricochets the second shot. Tiger gets a shot, kills the IS-1. Nope, AT gun. AT gun. So 1190 doing very well at getting AT guns up, but now we've got a double stack here for the Allies. We got one IS-1 here. And a T-34 stacking on up here on the backside. Trying to continue to stem off this push from Goat. 30 minutes remaining in this match today between 11ID and Goat. Both friends of the channel. You'd like to see here on the Falcon Cast. So, kind of give you an update on how things have gone from the get-go. 11ID able to come out and get that. Oh, I saw that. I saw that Munchie Squirrel. Shooter, I saw you guys take on that friendly tank. Give him a little love tap as you go on by. Saying, I will see you later, friend. I'm off to greener pastures. Or snowy pastures in this way. Anyway, back to our original programming. 1180 coming out, getting the initial cap on point. And from that point, continued to just kind of push and push. And we're able to go ahead and clear Go out of this mill sector, claiming lumberyard. And so we've been here since that point. 1180 was in a really good position here, owning pretty much all of the eastern side of the map down to here, and then also down the gut here. But Go able to respond very nicely to that. About an hour, the hour mark, I was thinking 11ID might be running away with it. But Goat not giving up by any means. Danny's still floating around there in the lumberyard. Has made quite an advance, and now they're the ones putting pressure on lumberyard. So if we are able to get Goat up into this point and they are able to take it out, claim it back in favor of the Axis forces. Could be in for a good final couple minute battle on the good final minute battle here on Distillery. Bombing run for the Axis, though, not able to get the garrison here on the backside. Unfortunately, just a little off. And so for Commander Ocelot, I might recommend moving that just a little bit. Whoops, we want to not show people where we're moving. Apologize. So that bombing run missing that garrison there. So unfortunately for Commander Ocelot, not quite on target there, but his men really do have a good good push from these houses here. 1190 appears that they're starting to mop it up though, so they've got it all cleared out here. Garrison down here for Goat that was previously in this area is gone. So as of right now, this Goat push now has it does not have any other support here outside of these OPs. So 11ID is slowly going to move up into this sector here and see what they can do to eliminate this. As we do have a lot of cherries here, but they don't have a lot of support. And any garrison that they get up will be locked out due to the vicinity, just due to the area they are right here. As Toy goes ahead and moves up, Toy and Redbeard combined probably for those kills there. But Dark Fiend finding his way up into another attic here, just trying to be a danger here to the Allied forces. He's looking to mow down Commander Benjamin there in the background. But a good arty mark coming out here for 11ID. That is the main concentration here for those pushes down into lumber works, or lumber yards. So yeah, that's some good arty, so keep it up. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. Let's give him a little bit of screen time here. Mr. Ernest McSorley, changing his name in honor of the renowned Edmund Fitzgerald. So normally a Dong Daddy is how he's known, but in honor of November, doing a little bit of a homage here to the Edmund Fitzgerald, largest shipwreck in the Great Lakes. All right, now after that moment of silence, we're back to action here for Goat that continues to wrap around the outside here. So Goat not wanting to give out, so they weren't eliminated from this sector, but it looks like they've migrated now over to this little sector, owning this backside now. As Tiger 131 gets out of his tank to try to do a repair, but unfortunately is met by a number of Goat cherries that just look to try to get him out. So Saucy Nug and Raven in a really difficult situation here, as Suzuka and Aguila both wanting to get up and get the glory for their team here by getting a satchel on here. Aguila not able to do it though, but it looks like Michi is able to get in and help out his buddies here, as Aguila able to get the satchel on there. T-minus 25 seconds for Saucy Nug and his group here to go up in smoke, unfortunately. But they want to try to take as many of these buggers with them as he can. And frankly, if they can get them, that'll help out greatly with this small incursion that they have here on the backside. It looks like Commander Benjamin dropping an airhead here, try to support his guys up at the middle, along with some supplies. So for 1190, this will be a great launching off point here. But currently, we got one Tiger tank coming out of the back and a Panzer IV pretty much pointed right where those supplies and that airhead's going to land. Or sorry, not airhead. P-Squad's OP kind of got me a little turned around there, but definitely a situation here where P-Squad should be looking to try to get somebody off with some supplies. So Sergeant Vlad, definitely be calling out to your guys and saying, hey, we need supplies here, guys. But they've done it multiple times already. They've gotten that garrison up, so I know they are very much on top of it. Commander Benjamin just looking to help his guys out while he can. As it currently stands, garrison in G8 would prevent that from happening anyway. So most likely they were well on top of the situation. Mr. Falcon was just behind, so we'll chalk that up to Falcon just being behind, because those guys definitely know what they're doing here. Walleye getting some good shots. Riz, little does he know that he's right next to a German OP here. Still hiding up in the upper area of this shed, not knowing that there are 3 cherries right around him. close proximity here. Priz, though, trying to do what he can to stay alive. Being an officer, vital for him to be able to get that OP back up. Priz gets one shot on Kawa, though. Sergeant Harley, though, hopefully looking to avenge his men there. He heard the shot. Harley is investigating. Priz makes the leap from the second floor. Priz looking around, but Harley's still hiding in the corner there. All right, we'll zoom on out here as Priz appears to be moving back towards friendly forces here. Not appear that Harley saw him either. Probably sees his footprints in the snow, though, is trying to make his way up. All right, Goat appears to have been able to get a garrison up in the backside here. As a massive response here from 11ID comes in. Benjamin taking out McCready here. Zoka also the next one here. Aguaris, though, coming on the backside of General Lee. Fortunately for General Lee, did not have his namesake car to get him out of that little situation. Spear Destroyer, though, able to take out Aguila. Spear Destroyer made a run on the garrison. But a great rocket here from Captain Jugs. Captain Jugs again coming in with a big rocket play here. Takes that out along with a couple of the Goat players here. Dark Fiend with his MG just hiding behind this little mound of hay. Fortunately for them, though, OP's still up. But slowly, more and more 11ID are closing in. The final incursion group here for Go. Looks like they are slowly and surely being eliminated here. Suzuka and Danny. Aguila killed as soon as he spawned off that OP. RW Cash looking to get some shots on Hizoka. Hizoka's making himself very well known where he is with the report of his rifle, and RW Cash able to take out Hizoka. McReady and Wanjo trying to fight back here against General Lee as again more and more forces come off the OP. Captain Jugs, though, finally able to eliminate that with the help of a trusty grenade. Captain Jugs taking out Wanjo. Smoke grenade from Captain McReady. But Captain McReady, the only man there, soon to be completely sandwiched by 4 plus 4 11ID guys. Godspeed, Captain McReady. All right, so as we were talking about, 11ID is looking to make that push here on the western flank here, down that riverbed. J-Squad, Mr. Soapman, able to get that garrison up. So that is a good area of attack for them to try to get some bodies in. It looks like it's uncontested here at the moment. Let's go ahead and zoom on over and take a look and see what's going on over there. Soapman getting some shots over on Nico. Soapman eliminating Nico. So it looks like one supporting garrison for the Axis squad. It's currently sitting right back here. I wonder if any spawns... Yep, there's a spawn here. So let's go ahead and see if Dappercat and Soapman are going to notice those spawns come in. And in turn, maybe that garrison is Soapman. Looks to be running away. Dappercat taking some shots. Takes out Cabo Hunter. Dappercat looking to get some shots on Phoenix as well. Phoenix getting his MP40 out. Returning fire on Dappercat. Dappercat able to go ahead and finish him off, though. Moving on up. Dappercat appears to be zeroed in on that garrison right now. Soapman approaches from the backside. Dappercat moving up on the garrison. Let's go ahead and give you your screen time here, Mr. Dappercat. It's a good thing you're in the Russian military as a sniper. I don't know if you track it. You do pretty well on the hurdles in the track and field events here, but at least in fighting for your country here, for your comrades, you're doing fine work, Mr. Dappercat. You do eliminate the garrison and the supplies here. Sergeant Somoza pushing on back, making a beeline here down the line. Dappercat and Soapman looking to try to do what they can to salvage this garrison, keep it up, as Somoza gets closer and closer to it. Not yet hot. Dappercat, though, making a play back, lining up on Somoza. Takes him out. Good shot by Dapper Cat. We're going to stick it here as Rogers is also up here trying to put some shots on Dapper Cat. Rogers looking for the angle. Dapper Cat not aware that he's there yet. Rogue holding his fire. Rogue taking shots, eliminating Dapper Cat with a headshot. All right, so 11ID as of right now looks like they have been able to hold and get everything up pretty good. So everything that was back here for GOAT currently eliminated. So 11ID holding a really good front line here, as now they have moved their IS-1 up here to the front door, preparing to push down into point here. So 11ID getting themselves in a very good position here to have multiple lanes of attack as they look to get this final assault here on Hay. 17 minutes left in this match. Couple Axis tanks floating around there in the backside. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do too much damage. A-Squad's the only person back here. Sitting in the top of that half-track, most likely directing some of those Luxes his way. Redbeard, right on top of the garrison here in hay storage, though. Is he going to be able to take it out? Is Nico moving on up? Redbeard able to take it out. Good work by Redbeard. Now trying to retreat back to the relative safety of the hay bale here. Nico also hiding back, as Redbeard appears to be dodging bullets from multiple angles here. Redbeard takes out Nico, now owning the full hard cap here as a flare comes up here for the Axis side. Might have been just outside of the area to be able to reveal Redbeard, but Redbeard holding it down. I do not know if he sees Rogue here coming in from the western side. Redbeard lining up on Rogue, though. No doubt he sees him now. Redbeard gets one shot, misses. Redbeard takes him out. So Redbeard on a killing spree here in the middle. Hardcap is pressured, now comes in favor of 11ID. And with that, we see multiple 11ID guys starting to push into the point here. Garrison taken out on hay storage. Closest garrison for GOAT is 400 meters away in either direction. So GOAT in a really bad spot here. They need to keep this middle HQ open. But 11ID smelling blood in the water, trying to get up here. As now they have a full good push here. First Lieutenant Fauci and Corporal Jugs. Captain Jugs, sorry, Silo, Soapman, all making their way into the point here as a spawn does come off the middle. Loading up the transport truck, trying to get some bodies back in here for the Axis forces. But 11ID slowly and surely kick and go back and back here, as now they are pretty much back to the boundary line here between the blue and the red sectors. Soapman lining it up here, trying to jump into Hardcap. Samoza getting some fire on him. Soapman trying to stay alive, bandaging, going in for repairs a little bit here, trying to live to fight another day. Soapman in a target-rich environment takes out Nico. Samoza hearing the shot, trying to figure out where in the world it came from here, though. Samoza maneuvering, try to get an angle here on Soapman. The Soapman hides behind that hay bale. Silo coming in to try to help out Soapman here. All right, IS-1 coming in to really help hammer in this push here, as another garrison has been able to be put up here by Sergeant Samoza here on the backside. Silo taking out Rogue, leaving the door open here. Soapman and Silo looking to try to get that garrison potentially. Soapman coming around the corner, exposing himself to the enemy, but luckily for him, nobody is within firing range here. Soapman lays down on top of the garrison. Gap pressure coming in. 11ID now nearing 10-15% of the way capped here on point here. Samoza getting some shots as Michi appears to have been locked into the spawn on the garrison. Players out of nowhere here. Michi just trying to figure out where in the world is he's trying to get himself oriented, but unfortunately for him, IS-1 said none of that and takes him out. Soapman Silo still hanging on inside the hard cap, as now Sergeant Samoza and his squad trying to hold pressure here, just trying to salvage what they can here. Garrison, only garrison for GO on the field, currently sits in H9. They are a long way here, as 11ID now holding 50% of the cap on hay storage. Can 11ID hold out for one more minute with the cap progress here, as Dapper Cap moving around takes out Nico. Dapper Cat eliminating that OP as well. So Goat now in very dire straits. Nobody even near to try to help out, trying to get this back. Reinforce is down for for Goat, but Sergeant Somoza unfortunately will not be able to do it all on his own. IS-1 still holding in the corner there as Corporal Das gets out trying to repair. But for right now, 11ID in strong control here of the hard cap here, nearing almost 85-90% of the way capped here for 11ID. 11ID on the cusp here of a 5-0 against Goat here in the 12th minute. 12 minutes remaining here as Dapper Cat takes out Somoza. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Dapper Cat sealing the deal from backside here, taking out Sergeant Somoza, securing the 5-0 victory for 11ID over Goat. So overall, a very good, fun match. But at the end of the day, 11ID just was unable to overpower it enough to get that 5-0 victory over Goat. So both of them definitely going to be able to use the progress here and the lessons they learned from this 35s match to go ahead and try to apply here as they go into their final weeks of the regular season of TPL and into the playoffs. Now, these teams won't meet officially in TPL, but nonetheless, both in some very good practice here as they look to try to get in and get the reps they need. So appreciate everybody for coming in. Let me cast this one for you. Again, any likes, any subscribes you can give me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Both of these teams, great friends of the show here. Appreciate them coming out on a Thursday night and letting me cast for them. I also invite you to look over at WhippyOhio, who was able to cast that one for the Allied side, or for the Axis side. Also a TPL streamer. We're looking to try to get up and get some members as well. So if anybody can go and like and subscribe to him, I'll be posting his link here in the chat once I'm done. So you can go ahead and get a look over there and get that to him. But all the love is much appreciated as we try to climb up the ranks here and unlock more and more features that come at the 1,000 subscriber mark here on the YouTube platform. So with that, thank you all very much for joining us today on the Falcon Network. And